All right, and we're live Saturday real estate weekend roundup live with Billy and Glenn. Stay tuned. We're going to talk about the facts, the feelings, and the figures on the ground. We're live, Glenn.
We're live, and I can see our microphones are on. Often people say, "Oh, your microphone's off," and other people don't complain. They'd rather just look in silence, Billy.
Yeah. Well, we do all of the above on this show. Some weeks we have audio, some weeks we don't.
Yeah, Billy's very good at the technical stuff, but we've got a new studio. We'll show you one day what it looks like in here. It is like a small TV studio. Let's just say, because I don't want to give away the cost, what Mark spent.
An arm and a leg?
Well, maybe Lisa doesn't know, but let's say a mid-sized European car. A new mid-sized European car, or a hybrid Toyota mid-sized car, RAV4. So if you're on car sales like me all the time, you know how much it costs. But it's just one of the great things that happen here at Novak. And, we're very fortunate that Mark is, a very generous boss, because the money he spent on this room, I'm sure, there'll be something his family could use it for. So thank you very much, Monsieur Novak.
On to the open home numbers.
Open home numbers. Well, look, it was not as buoyant as this week. A lot off market this week. And I think we averaged around 10. So 10 for off market, that's purely or pre-market from the Novak database. That's pretty good.
Well, 10's considered double digits is pretty awesome.
Pretty good. So these are generally buyers in the buying phase. Buyers come in a lot of capacities, but they'll either come to research the market or they'll come to buy. And these are predominantly buyers.
Yeah. So you had a couple of specials yourself, actually.
Yeah, look, I've got a 101 square metre one bedroom. Billy and I might put a sale together on Monday, or a launch to market. And then I had another sunny 2 bedroom in DY. And I've got the little engine that could 15 of 10 Oaks Avenue. We'll get there with that one. Billy, everything about waterfronts today.
Yeah, we had our first open on realestate.com for our lake home in NARRABEEN. Really exciting property, that one. Lovely to see a property that brings in interest from all different walks of life. We had local investors, local families, people looking for 2 incomes, live in one, rent the other, live in one, do a project on the other. Lots of different people.
Well, people from all over Sydney. The NARRABEEN Lakes has had a history. They used to have water skiing down there and power boats. Now it's predominantly just little boats and not too fast around there, sailboats. There's always debate about dredging the lakes and opening the lakes up to the sea more. But I think they've got it pretty well sorted, Northern Beaches Council there, in just how they regulate it. So we never really get any flooding in NARRABEEN Lakes. If there is flooding, you normally see a guy with a long white beard getting animals 2 by 2 into a wooden boat. There's that much water around. So fantastic spot to live. It's like being on holidays once you come home down there.
Yeah, this is just the ultimate setup. Near the beach, near the shops, with lake access. It's good for boating, camping, fishing, BCF, having fun.
What's really interesting about NARRABEEN is the zoning. So, and we'll talk about this, about contentious topics at the end. But zoning at NARRABEEN, there is development there, but not as high as DY. DY for landmark projects, if you go to the minister, so it goes through land and environment and eventually The New South Wales Minister for Planning will sign off. You can get 15 stories in DY. Narrabeen, not much over 3 to 4, possibly even 5, just depending on how clever your architect is.
Yeah.
So it's relatively low rise for the Northern Beaches, and not a lot of zoning for multi-dwelling. So it keeps the crowds down.
Yeah, it's an interesting suburb that really is the heart of the beaches when you think about it for transport links.
Well, it's midway. It's midway. So Billy will be there. Are you there tomorrow?
Yeah, there tomorrow.
So if anyone from all over Sydney, if ever you wanted a holiday home, you can have this, because there's a main residence and there's a holiday home or second income property on it as well. So rather than going and buying in Avoca or Huskisson Beach down the south coast, you could buy in Narrabeen.
Yeah.
And have one home for your family and rent the other one out Airbnb or long-term rental. Really, really successful. So Billy, what time tomorrow?
11 to 11:30 will be there.
Okay. So we always talk about exciting listings. What did we see on Monday that really took your fancy, Billy?
Let me think. The team...
or was it Tuesday?
Tuesday this week.
Yeah, long weekend.
The team have brought on collectively an exciting opportunity up in Balgala. 2 actually. There's a 2-bedroom apartment, but the one that I really took a fancy to was some new property being finished in February.
We'll talk a bit more about that. Unpack it, as the kids say, Billy. What is this property in Balgala?
So we've basically got the last remaining 2-bedroom and penthouse available for a unique block of 12. It's a luxury development near Stocklands. If you're local, you'll know Stocklands for its success in lifestyle and everything that has to offer. New property coming to market, and yeah, you pretty much got the last opportunity to get into that now.
So I think Billy will put a link down below. It's almost at the stage where we can get you through. So you'll be the first owner, brand new, like owning a new car. There's nothing like owning a new property. Billy will put a link down below. 24/7 you can come to the Novak office. Billy will be here 24/7.
Test it.
and you can see the plans. Now, interesting you talk about Stockland. The Stockland development is one of the most sought after locations on the Northern Beaches for people that may be downsizing, because you have a boutique shopping centre underneath, everything you need but nothing you don't need.
Yeah.
Right in the heart of Balgala, one of the Northern Beaches' most convenient suburbs, really close to the city, close to the harbour, close to Manly, and all the convenience underneath. Along the main street there too, plenty of doctors, physios, skin specialists, restaurants, coffee shops, anything you would need.
It's really well said.
Yeah.
And the proven track record of the resales in that building has been
in Stocklands. Yeah.
It's been very, very. It's got a great track record.
Yeah. Well, I would say per square metre, Stocklands would, for non sort of ocean view or harbour view apartment blocks, would have the highest resale and the highest per square metre costings. So they were fantastic. Rentals,
the team have had another busy week. I think the star of the show this week has got to be a new property that's just come on for first showing today in Mossman.
Yes.
Just under mid 3,000 a week. Gets you into a very grand home in Mossman. All the bells and whistles. The team are negotiating and putting a great lease together there over the weekend. So 6 or 7 groups through, really interested parties.
And what's, once again, with rentals, the market is tight. So we had 7 properties for rent on the Northern Beaches this weekend. And with our commercial and residential, for rent for lease properties. We manage about 1,500 properties, and only 7 residential properties for lease. I think there's about 20 commercial properties. So of that breakdown too, it's probably around 1,300 to 1,400 residential properties that we manage. Only 7.
It's not a lot.
Only 7. I've also had a phenomena occur that I haven't seen in all my years in real estate in this area. I saw a lot of it in the southwest of Sydney, and I saw a lot of it in the inner west of Sydney, where parents would put their kids into their investment properties and have the kids pay down the mortgage, which was eventually going to go to them. I would have had on 2-bedroom units, I had 7 groups through. 3 were parents looking to do that too, because they're worried, where will their kids live? They can't live at home forever. Billy, mum and dad might be asking the same of you, but you do have a rental property out there. So that's really, really interesting as well. Another interesting thing, I jumped online and I stopped today, and within maybe 17, 18 Ks to the city, maybe less, still can buy 2-bedroom units in Sydney for 450,000.
Yep.
So I'm looking for a friend who wants to buy something with his super, and that was in the suburb Wiley Park, Marylands, also Lakemba, and what we'll talk about a little bit later on with the population growth. Eventually, there'll be no secondary suburbs in Sydney. There'll only be gold ticket or A-grade suburbs.
Yeah.
So there'll only be desirable suburbs because Sydney will become so populated. So, yeah, interesting. Well, I found it.
That pretty much brings us into our barbecue topic of the week. Population growth. You made some great observations. Do you have some rough numbers?
Really, really rough. Well, we're going to have 500,000 people come to Australia, make Australia home. Yet, we're only building about 170,000 properties across Australia per year. So we're just filling the population growth, which makes property a really good long-term investment.
Yeah.
So these areas where you might think, especially if you live on the Northern Beaches, I might not want to live there. Guess what? Someone really wants to live there. Lakemba, Wiley Park, Punch Bowl, on train lines, really close to the city. Buy an investment property out there for 400, 450. Put a tenant in there.
Yep.
And help solve this rental crisis, because it really is. When you think an agency as large as Novak, with so many properties and landlords that we manage and happily do so, we've only got 7 for lease.
Yeah.
7 for lease. So it's getting really tricky out there.
Good time to seek an additional investment property or make your first one.
Well, or buy a property in an area that you can afford and rent, maybe with a couple of people, or share a house in an area you want to live. Just need more landlords at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay, now Billy, community announcements. What's happening in the Northern Beaches community this week?
Well, school holidays still on. You've got plenty of people out and about. Every day seems like a weekend on the Northern Beaches for the last week and a half, and I think another week. But look, I think there's plenty on with the school holes. Obviously, just make sure you're cruising around at a sensible speed on the road.
Yeah. Well, they always bring additional demerit points into play over those periods. Yeah, school for holidays. I think the public schools go back to school on Monday. So short and sweet, Billy. Bit too old to chase the schoolgirls now, which is good. See this tie, Billy? In fun fact, talking about ages, I think this tie is older than you, Billy. I definitely know my underpants are.
Well-
I think they're about 25 years old, Billy. That's a real old man's thing. You never throw them out. You could just keep fixing them up. I hope no one's eating at the moment, but that's probably a bit it. We're a little bit flat today. It's been a busy week.
Very busy week.
When we have a beautiful day off, we find that we still get the same number of hours in for that week. And talking about days off, I'm just going to, maybe we'll just finish on this. Novak Christmas hours. Well, good news for anyone out there that has a lot of time on their hands over Christmas and is on holidays and wants to buy a property, research a property, lease a property, find a tenant for the property. We're open every day, 7 days over the Christmas break, except for the public holidays.
Yep.
And what you'll find with Novak is that's all year round. So if it's a statute public holiday, then we respect that. We won't work. But if it's not, we're open. So out there in real estate world, if you're not in real estate or you haven't had experience with real estate open hours, most agents will close the office or agencies for 3 weeks, 21 days, a couple of days before Christmas Eve.
Yep.
And they'll come back, the second week in January, which is great probably, for the staff, but horrible for the clients, horrible for the landlords, horrible for sellers that haven't sold before the Christmas break as well, horrible for tenants that need things done because there's just a skeleton work from home sort of workforce. At Novak, we
business as usual.
Business as usual. We really respect, that our clients need us over that time. What I'd also like to add is if you're a landlord or you're a seller over that period of time and your agent is on the break, we're more than happy to step in and assist you with any needs. If you're a tenant and you can't contact your agent and you just need some advice, we'll be here all the time too.
That's well said. Give us a call.
Give us a call. If you want to see anything off the plan, 24/7.
Give us a
Billy
call.
will come in here in his pajamas at 1 o'clock in the night.
And last but certainly not least, what is Mr. Higgs doing for the weekend?
Look, I think I'm going to go into the city tomorrow, so I'll catch the B line. Now on the Northern Beaches, we have a fantastic double-decker bus route that takes you from DY all the way into the city, drops you off at Wynyard, air-conditioned. I think it's $2 for a family or something. So I'll be going into the city, and I'll be going to Thai Town.
Oh,
so
wow.
there's
Not Chinatown.
not
but
China-
Thai Town.
A lot smaller than Chinatown, but just as much fun. So we'll probably go in there with my wife, who was out there helping me today, looking as beautiful as ever, and my daughter, and have a lovely big Thai meal. Billy, what are you up to tomorrow?
A couple of Sunday specials, nice and relaxed.
Okay, Sunday special, best property in Narrabeen, if not on the Northern Beaches, lake access. Billy, just the times and the place.
Narrabeen, 84 Lagoon Street for 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock. Times are online. And showing a little one-bedroom in Brookvale. Great for a first-home buyer. Just after, actually, I think that's 12 o'clock.
All right. Have a great weekend. Thanks for tuning in.
See you guys.